ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Around 26-yard line.
And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 2nd down, McNair. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
From the gun on 3rd down, McNair. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, he might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Now Austin. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Going deep for Hopkins, and that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Now a handoff here to his running back. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check safety, check safety. Switch gears. Hey, 1 set. Check Mike 54. Light 54. 3 buzz, 3 buzz. 54.
Looking to throw on second down. McNair, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Watch the edge.
From the gun, here's McNair. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40 and down to the 29-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage. You got a chance to rumble.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Easy.
Mahomes now to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 60 out low. Check. Watch the safety creep. Sponge. Back. That's it.
Out of the gun, it's McNair. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Frank Clark has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point.
Mike 5-5.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McNair, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence, that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They begin with a run by Barkley. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Throwing is Mahomes on third. Trying to lay one up deep. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now McNair. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 31-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Now McNair looking for a first down throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tyus Bowser coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. McNair to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
To throw on 3rd down, McNair. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Eight yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
54.
On first and 10, here's Mahomes. Going deep for Hopkins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up second and 10. Mahomes is going to run the option left. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Brought down back at the 29-yard line.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Adam Humphries, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on first and 10. On first and 10, McNair. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is this horoscope off? Is biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
And their
11 yards there, first down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
That's another Colts first down. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Yellow. That's all they need. 54. Mike, 54. I'm coming.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And it's caught. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
To throw again on second down. Mahomes toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. It's the fullback. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. A final shot before break. McNair, he's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action here on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That's it, fellas. We're going to play.
At their own 22-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. To throw on 2nd down. McNair eluding the pressure right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. It's a gain of 34. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McNair. There he goes, left side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off near his own 48. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Anthony Harris on the tackle. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4, Mike's 5-4. Dude, you just won.
To throw on second down. McNair. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Tyus Bowser able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Frank Clark in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Here's Johnny Hecker now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Here's Austin. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I think you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now here's Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter, and they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
Watch that, watch that, watch that.
Mike 27. Let's go. Drive on. Just like that. Just go.
Here's McNair. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Get off the field, D. Jack.
On 4th down, McNair. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is going to be incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position.
Hey, 43, 43, 15. Hey, 15, 15, 15. Right there.
They go play fake. Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Charles, you said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, McNair. And now here is another interception. Derwin James with a pick, and he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Carlos Dunlap able to record his 5th sack of the season. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
First down, Steelers.
On first down, it's McNair. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Frank Clark racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now McNair, and he's going to go down again.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw, McNair. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb. To the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Mahomes, he's going to go for a big play downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The drive starts with a run by White. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see good.
From the gun, McNair. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been a man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
Yellow.
They go back to Grant. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Yellow. Let's go, little lady.
Grant. Check.
They will run with Grant, and he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
It's 4th down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Here we go on 4th down. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field. He wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception, and we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Indianapolis, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.